Tuesday, week 5, and we start off with some quotations. I need to lay down and rest for a few minutes, Mark said, and then I'd be ready to leave. So we want to make sure we identify that we have Mark said, and that is our speaker tag. So what did Mark say? Well, Mark said, I need to lay down and rest for a few minutes, so we want to make sure we get quotations around there. He also said, and then I'd be ready to leave. So we get our quotations in place. Now it's a matter of what do we need to capitalize, where do we need to put commas, and so forth. Well, Mark said one sentence, I need to lay down and rest for a few minutes, and then I'd be ready to leave. So we're not going to put separate periods and new capitalizations at the end of the second part. We're just going to make it one sentence. So what we do then is we take minutes at the end there. We need to put a comma because it's before the quotations. Of course, Mark's going to be capitalized because he's a name, Mark said. And this is where, since it's one sentence, you only put a comma. Mark said, comma, and then I'd be ready to leave. And of course, he wouldn't say, then I'd be ready to leave, then I'll be ready to leave. I'll put that in there. Be ready, I'll be ready to leave. And that will make a nice speaker tag and put everything together. That's how we would do number 1. Number 2. Japanese forces attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii at the beginning of World War II. Japanese forces. So is this correct? Do we capitalize Japanese and not forces? Is that right? Yes, that is correct. That's how we would do that. It's a proper adjective. It gets capitalized for 2 reasons. 1, it's at the beginning of a sentence. Number 2, it is a proper adjective. So proper adjectives, like like a country's name at the front, would get capitalized, but not the word behind it, not forces. So they attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Let's go ahead and put capital letters on Pearl Harbor. And we put commas in between city and state. If the state is not at the end of the sentence, we get a comma after the state too. Attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii at the beginning of World War II. Looks like everything else is kind of in place there for beginning of World War II. One more mistake, just saw. Capitalized war, beginning of World War II. On to number 3, rent a movie to watch after dinner tonight. It asks for the subject. So hopefully we're in the right mode of analyzing what type of sentence we have. It's giving you a command. It's an imperative sentence. You understood as a subject, so the subject there would be you, you. And finally, for 4 and 5, we needed to identify the independent clause, exactly what we're working on right now. Number 4, Wendy is going to fail Spanish unless she starts studying more. Independent clause can stand alone. Wendy is going to fail Spanish. Okay, that's your independent. Your dependent would be unless she starts studying more. And finally, number 5, while you wash the dishes, I'm going to do the laundry. What can stand alone? I'm going to do the laundry. Dependent clause there would be while you wash the dishes. Both of number 4 and 5 make complex sentences, something we're working on right now. It has one dependent clause and one independent clause together. Go ahead and turn over to the back of your paper and write down one thing you learned.